Hello students, once again here Mansi ma'am. Today we were going to do this new topic of this control structure. Control structure is the new topic in advanced scripting language. So let's see this topics. So the control structure is used to design or scripting in the advanced level. So we will take this control structure. With this help of this control structure, we can also design or write the script in advanced programming language. So let's see the control structure having these two types, that is one is looping and another is for branching, or we can say blocks. So in this loop there is in three ways or three types, that is for loop, do while and while loop. So in the control structure there is two types, that is looping structure and branching structure or block structure. So in the loop, there are the three types, that is for loop, do while and while loop. So the first is for the for loop. For loop is used to display the sequence of series at a time. That means, for an example, if you want to take or if you want to display this 1 to 100 or 1 to 50 at a time, then we will use this for loop. So once we start the for loop from 1 to 100, it will display the 1 to 100 at a time. So this is the for loop which we used for this sequence of the numbers or sequence of the format we want to display at a time. So now how for loop will work? For loop will work for this one time, that is it will check the one conditions for the process. That means it will check the condition, then it will execute it and then display it. Then again check that condition, then execute and then display this message. Then again check the condition, then again it will execute and then will process. It will do till that they have to work till 1 to 100 or 1 to 50. So if we have given the order till it's 1 to 10, they have to display. So it will continue this loop till 1 to 10. So 10 times it will check this condition, then 10 times it's execute and then it will be displayed. So this is how the for loop will work. The next is do while. Do while is this three types of loops is used for this sequence to display only, but there isn't the three of them having a different way to perform their work. So as I told, that for loop will work in this way, and so this another for this do while is to do while it will execute this process, that will be firstly execute all the statement and then check the condition. So do while is work in this way, that it will execute all the statements and then it will check the condition. So when we execute this statement and then it will get the check the condition, then if the conditions is false, then it will terminate it, and if condition is true, then which it is executed that statement, that will display it in this output. And the third one is while loop. While loop is work as a, it will check the condition first and then it will execute it. So there is an the same procedure or the same features of this all three looping structure, but there are the different ways to three of them. That for loop will check it one by one again and again, and then it will check this or we can say that it will execute this one by one, and then it will display this one by one at the time. And then do while will work as it will check or execute all the statements and then it will check the condition. If the condition is false, it will terminate it, or if the condition is true, then it will display this message which it is already execute that statement. And the while loop will work as it will check the condition first and then execute it and just then display it. So these are the looping structure. and this the way they are working. So now branching, there is two types of branching or block structure. So first is if condition and the second is switch case. So we will start with the branching structure, that is for the if condition. So let's see the if condition. So firstly we'll take the branch or the block structure. So if conditions having the syntax or two types. So what is syntax? As you are known that maths have the formulas or the formats. So in the same way the computer having the formats. So in the computer language, for the format is known as a syntax in the computering language. So there are two types of syntax in the if condition. So first one as you see, and the second one as you see, that is if test is used, the word test is used, and in the second syntax you can see the square bracket is used. So the condition is when the question is when the question came, let's depend on that condition. So if test and condition, so we will write that condition, and if the condition is true, so it will go into the then statement. Means the condition that will be the true, then it will display the statement below the then option, and if the condition get false, then it will display the statement which is containing by the else. Means the conditions get true, they execute this then statement, and if conditions get false, it execute the else statement. And then if you want to exit or close the if condition, we will reverse the words in the reverse way, that is if spelling is if, so for and or we can close the if condition, we will reverse that word, that is fi. So there are the two syntax of the if condition. So instead of test, we can use this square bracket, but while using this our square bracket, we have to be careful while using this, because as you see that square bracket containing before and after having the one spaces. So if then leave one space, then square bracket, then again leave one space, and then we will use, or we can write the our condition, and after that writing the condition, leave one space and then close the square bracket. So this is the format which we use for the second if condition, and same thing will be that this condition will get true, then it will display this then option, then statement option, and if the condition get false, then it will go into the else statement option. So and then we will close this if by reversing these words, that is fi. So now the syntax of the switch case. So switch case syntax is case and dollar variable in. Case and in is the format, or we can say the syntax, but the dollar variable is the variable which we are taking the input, and we input by using the read, and we have take the variable. So that variable came before the case, and dollar sign is used with the variable to use that variable value. So over here, instead of the variable, we have whatever we have taken the variable after this echo statement and with the read command, so that variable will be over here. And the one statement, that means the first case display this different message, then case 2 displays different message. So how many case we want to create, it will display, it will depend upon us. So as you see the statement after, that is in two semicolon. Two semicolon contain, that is to exit from to the case. Means when we entered into that case, then if you want to exit from this case, this two times semicolon will be used to exit from to the case. And then as you see that asterisk sign is there. Asterisk sign case is defined as a default case when we get the input from the users and that input is not valid. So if you want to display the proper message to the user, that is your input is invalid, or we can say that please enter the valid input. So in this default statement we can display this our own message. and then again the semicolon to exit from to the case. And then again if you want to close this case or switch case, then we will reverse its all these characters in this reverse way, that what's ended from this word, that will be the came first to close this case. So as you see that ESC is to close the case. Then the syntax is for the nested if condition. As I told that if condition, so there is a nested if. So if inside the if, that is known as a nested if. So this is having also two syntax, that is the same one by using the test and by using this square bracket. But the difference is that in nested if, if we are having the more than one condition, then we will use this nested if. So if test and condition, that means the first condition, if the first conditions get wrong or get false, then it will check it the second one condition. It will not display the first then message. It will go into the else if test condition, and then it will check the second condition, and if the second conditions get true, then it will display this message. If does not display or we can say it will not execute the second condition and will we get the false message, then it will go into the else part. I will over here I will not mention this else part. So it will, if the both condition get false, it will go into the else part, and then we will close this if into the reverse way, that is fi. So in the similar way, that is in square bracket instead of test. So these are the expression which we are going to use in this control structure. So first is minus gt for the greater than sign, minus lt for less than, minus ge, that is greater than equal to. Now greater than equal to means if we say that um, 10 is greater than equals to, that means whatever number we are getting, so it's greater than 10 or greater than equals to 10. Means when we enter the 10 also, then it will display this number is greater than. So it will use for this containing the condition number also. So minus ge for the greater than equal to, minus le, that is similar to the less than equal to. As I told, that is the number of the condition will be also conducted. Then minus eq, that is for the equal to, minus ne, that is for the not equal to. So these are the expression we are going to use in the control structure scripting language. And the next expression is minus a and minus o. So minus a define the and minus o used for or. So now in this difference between and or, that and is used when, and the output will be in the format, that or the feature of the and is when we are having conditions, and in all these conditions, if any one condition is false while using the and, then it will display the output as a false. While using the and in the conditions, so any one of these conditions is false, it will display this message as a false, because any one of this condition while using the and expression, it will display this false message. So for an example, if we are having suppose 5 conditions, so while check it the condition, so and find out that first condition is false, then it will not check the second one condition, because that features know that if any conditions get false, we have to display this message as a false. So if they get the first conditions false, so it will not go to check out this rest of this condition, it will display this false message to the users. And in the or we can say minus o, it will search for the true condition. That means from all of these conditions, if any one condition is true, then it will display the true message. That means from all of these conditions, or get or can find this any one of these conditions get true, then it will display this message as a true. So suppose we have take the example that we are having the 5 conditions. So in that the first condition is false in or statement, then it will check the second one. If the second one is also not true, then or will check the third one. So it will continue till the how many conditions are there, because it will find that true conditions, because the or features contain that true statement. So or will define that from the all of these conditions, if they get the true, from any one conditions get true, it will display the true message in or expressions. And in the AND expression, if the any one conditions get false, the output will be false. And in all expressions, if any condition is true, any single one condition is true, then output will be true. So this is the expression which we can use in the scripting language by using the control structure. So let's take the one example of the writing a script to take input of two numbers and find out the maximum. So over here you can already know that how we will enter in the Vim editor, how we will go into the insert mode, and how we will take this input of the two numbers from the users at the output time. So let's see it. Over here we have taken this file name as a max, so vi file name, then we'll go into the insert mode by pressing the I. Then we will write the clear to clear the screen. Then echo minus C, enter number 1. Then read A. Read is used to take the input, and A will use to store the answer into the variable A. And then we will take the echo minus E, enter number 2. And it will store into the variable B by using the taking the input of the read command. And then we will use the if condition to check the condition that from these two numbers which one is maximum. So this will be the condition that from this two number which number is maximum. So here we will check it by the help of the if condition. So if test and condition. So our condition is $A minus GT, that is greater than $B. That means our statement is $A is greater than $B. Means A is greater than B, then it will display this message after the then, that is echo minus E, $A is maximum. So whatever number 1 is storing in the variable A, it will display this value, that is this value is maximum. And now if this conditions get false, that means $A is not greater than $B, then it will go into the else statement and it will display echo minus E, $B is maximum, because over here $A minus GT, $B conditions get false. If conditions get false, then it will go into the else statement, or we can say this conditions get true, it will go into this then statement. And then we will close this our if by writing the fi. So once we completed the script, we will exit from the insert mode. To exit from the insert mode, we will press the escape key. Then we will save the our script and exit from the Vim editor by writing the :WQ or :X. So we will execute the our script by sh max.sh. So the our output will be enter number 1. So suppose over here I will entering the number 20, and then we will enter the number 2. So that is 30. So as you know that number 1 is smaller than number 2. So A is smaller than B. So in A variable the number 1 is stored, and in the B variable the number 2 is stored. So our condition was that $A minus GT $B. That means the $A is greater than $B. So our output will be 30 is maximum. As I told that the conditions get false, it will go into this else part, else statement. So $B, that means $B is maximum, that is 30 is maximum. Then now we will take the another example of this, find out the minimum number. So it is similar to the maximum number only, but the small changes will be done in this minimum number. So we will take or we will create this Vim file by vi and file name, that is mean. Then we will press the I to go into the insert mode, and then we will clear it. Take the input of the number 1 by read variable a. So number 1 is stored into the a. Then enter number 2. Then we will store into the variable b, and then we will check the condition. So you can see in the maximum question, that is in the maximum script, we have used the minus GT for the greater than sign, because we want to find this maximum. And over here for this minimum we have to use this minus LT, that is less than sign. So the command will be if test $A minus LT, that is less than, and $B. So if test $A is less than $B, then that means this conditions get true, then it will go into the then statement, that is echo minus E, $A is minimum. And if this conditions get false, that means this condition means $A less than $B, this conditions get false, then it will go into the else statement, that is echo minus E, $B is minimum. And then we will close the our if by reversing this characters. And once we completed the our script, we will exit from the insert mode by pressing the escape key from the keyboard, and then we will save the our Vim file and exit from the Vim editor, and we will execute the our script by sh and file name. So our file name was the mean, so sh mean dot sh. So the first message we have get that enter number 1. So we will enter the number 1 as in 20, and then we will press the enter. It will display this another message, that is enter number 2. So over here we will enter number 2 as a 30, and then we will press the enter. It will display that 20 is minimum, because as you see that number 1 containing 20, that means number 1 is stored into the variable a and number 2 is stored into the variable b. So it's checked that condition that variable a is less than variable b, so that condition was true, and it will display that the first statement which is below the then statement. So the our output will be 20 is minimum. So these are the script in this which we enter, or we can say that we will use this control structure and their expressions in the scripting language in the Vim editor. So we will see more scripts in the while using the control structure and the expressions in the Vim editor. So in the next video we will see all another more scripts while using the control structure and expression. So the another script, the question is write a script to take the input of number, that means one number, and find out that the number is odd or even. So over here we will take only one number, and just we have to find out the that is even or odd. So we will take the create the Vim file, so vi and file name. So over here file name was odd even. Then we will press the I to go into the insert mode. Then we will start writing the script. So over here we have to take the only one number. So we will take only one input. So echo minus E, enter number 1. Then read A. So number 1 is stored into the variable A. Now over here, how we will find out the number is odd or even. So how we will find the normally, that is we will divide the number by 2 and if we get the remainder 0, then that number will be even, and if we do not get the number remainder 0, then the number is odd. So this is the way which we are getting that number is odd or even. So with this logic only, we will find out this number is odd or even. So over here I had taken the variable to store the answer, that is the variable is c equals to tilde sign expr, and over here we have used this $a, that is what we are getting the number 1 is stored into the a. So over here we have used the $a and this modular sign. As I told in the previous video, that modular is used to get the remainder. So over here, whatever remainder is find and is stored into the variable c. That means when we divide the number by 2, that means whatever number which we get from the users, and that number is stored it in variable a. So that uh, value or that number which is stored in the variable a is divided by this 2, and it will not store the answer, it will store the remainder, because we have used the modular sign, that is percentage sign we have used it, and that will store the remainder. So remainder store into the variable c. So now we have to check that c having the 0 or not. So for this condition, that is the c containing 0 or not, we will use the control structure by using the if. So if condition will use, that is if test $c equals to, that is minus eq 0. That means if $c is equal to 0, if this condition is false, this condition is true, then it will display this then statement, that is echo minus e $a is even number. Why you are using the $a? Because from the users we have take the input, with that number we have to display this, that means that this number is even number or odd number. We cannot use the $c, because $c storing the remainder, and that $c is check that that is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. So over here you can use this also, that is if test $c minus eq is for the equal to, that means $c equal to 0. If this condition is true, that means $c equals to 0, then it will display this echo minus $a is even number, and if this conditions get false, then it will display the else part statement, that is echo minus $a is odd number. And once we completed the our if, then it will close the if by the fi, and once we completed the our script, we will exit from the insert mode. To exit the insert mode, we will press the escape key, and we will just save the our script and exit from the Vim editor. So we will write the :wq or :x to save and exit from the Vim editor, and then we will execute the our script. So to execute the script, there is an sh and file name. So over here file name was the odd even, so command will be sh odd even dot sh, and the output is, that is enter number 1. So over here suppose I am writing over here 17, so 17 will be stored into the variable a, and as we have written that $a percentage 2, that means which number we are getting from the users is divided by the 2, and if and that remainder is stored into the variable c, and by dividing the 17 by 2, the remainder will be 1. So 1 is stored into the variable c. Now c will check in the if condition that $c equals to 0. But in the c, the value is 1. So 1 equals to 0. That is false. The condition is false. So when the condition is false, it's go into the else statement, that is number is odd. So our output will be 17 is an odd number. So this is how we will use this control structure in the scripting language, and we can also use this operator in the control structure also, and we can also use in this inbuilt script also for this expression also. So we can use all this three things in the script also in the in the one script. That is, in this script we have used the control structure also, mathematical operation also, and expression also. So in the next video and the next topic, we will discuss for this more script by using this uh, control structure, expressions, and operators. So see you in the next video. Till that, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.